Right, welcome ladies and gents. The cinematographer on Gladiator 2, someone who worked with Ridley Scott, has come out and slammed Ridley Scott as lazy, impatient in terms of his directorial style, or directing style. Really not what I was expecting today. So close to the movie being out. Really bizarre. So as you can see here, look, article. Gladiator 2 cinematographer slams director Ridley Scott, says he's become impatient and lazy. Alright then. I mean, it is interesting. We'll take a look and see what they say. My own personal thoughts on Ridley Scott is that, well, he makes exceptionally good-looking films. Generally speaking, they always look great. Sometimes they lack any further substance than that, but they always look amazing. You know, you can't ever knock a Ridley Scott film in terms of how it looks, but maybe that's because they have great cinematographers on them. Who knows? Look, it is what it is. Hit subscribe if you're new here, turn the bell notifications on. Let's take a look at this. A bit of weird infighting in Hollywood, I guess. Again, not what I was expecting to see, just because it is... Well, you think there'd be gag orders on these things, right? But anyway, it says this. Gladiator was always going to be a hard act to follow, because it won multiple Oscars shortly after being released in 2000 and has become widely regarded as a true classic among film lovers. It's a great film. It's a brilliant film. I haven't watched it recently. I do need to do that. Might do it at the weekend. Anyway, filmmaker Sir Ridley Scott returned to helm Gladiator 2 and reviews have been positive. The sequel probably won't be an awards contender, but it is a fan-pleasing action flick. Apparently, people seem to like it. Some people have just said it's a bit... shouldn't exist. However, cinematographer John Mathieson doesn't have anything good to say about his reunion with Scott on the film. It's not the PR you want. So they worked together on Gladiator, and along with several other Scott's movies, including Hannibal, Matchstick Men, Kingdom of Heaven, Robin Hood. And so yeah. So basically, he spoke to the DocFix documentary storytelling podcast. Matheson shared his disappointment with what he saw from Scott during their Gladiator 2 collaborations. He was working on Gladiator 2. Okay, so he worked on Gladiator. He's now on Gladiator 2. He's a long-time cinematographer. He's worked with Ridley Scott many, many times. And he's just coming out and being like, look, mate, honestly, not good. It's quite crazy. I think I can believe this more because he's worked with this guy for so long on a lot of films that he's just slowly watched this guy degrade, I guess. And he's like, yeah, this isn't it, Chief. This ain't it. So explaining that Scott now shoots scenes with multiple cameras, he called the filmmaker's process really lazy. Well, I mean, is it lazy or is it... Yeah, I guess it could be deemed lazy, because you're not looking at it from an artistic point of view, are you? You're setting up multiple cameras and hoping that one of them would get a good shot. Rather than going, yeah, this is the shot. This is the one we're going with. Interesting. So he says, it's the CG computer graphic elements now of tidying up. Leaving things in shot. Cameras in shot. Microphones in shot. Bits of set hanging down. Shadows from booms. And they just said on Gladiator 2, well, clean it up. Oh my god. So Ridley Scott's like, yep, multiple cameras. It doesn't matter if they, if that multiple camera, that camera catches that camera. It doesn't matter if that camera catches that boom mic. Doesn't matter if that camera catches that bit of set that's falling off. Like, holy shit, that's bad. That is lazy. That is lazy. That's really lazy. Yeah, that's super, super lazy. Now, he does say he's quite impatient, so he likes to get... he's quite impatient. So he likes to get as much done. He likes to get as much as he can at once. It's not very good for cinematography. You can only light from one angle. Well, that is true. That is true. You can only light from one angle. That's crazy. Just like, yeah, he's super impatient. But we know this because... We've heard him on previous films where he's like, yeah, just one take, I'm done. Yep, just one take, I'm done. No. Yeah, that was good. And just moved on. It's like, okay. So look at his older films, and getting depth into things was very important, very much part of lighting. You can't do that with a lot of cameras, but he just wants to get it all done. Having lots of cameras, I don't think has made the films any better. It's a bit of a rush. That's changed in him. But that's the way he wants to do it. I don't like it, and I don't think many people do. But people love his films, and he's Ridley Scott and can do what he wants. People want to shoot multi-cameras because they get lots of performances and they put lots of people in, but there's not the care. That is pretty damning. He says, now it is this thing of generally covering stuff, rather than me being the cook cooking you something wonderful in my kitchen downstairs. You just go to the supermarket and get one of those really big trolleys, and you just put your arm on the shelf and just chuck all that stuff in, and we'll sort it out later. Oh, that's that epic thing of like, just fix it in post. Yeah, we'll put it together in the editing room. Yeah, that is super lazy. Wow. Now that makes a lot of sense, because he has... Well, on Gladiator 2, I think it makes sense that he was trying to rush. Because on Gladiator 2, they were behind schedule. It was costing them a lot more money. The studio was banging their drums saying, you need to get this done. Because they had, you know, parts of... it was like the strike and stuff like that. So the budget for this had inflated quite substantially. But then also, you know, we'd heard from him that on previous movies that he's worked on, he's like, no, got to trim it down, get it tighter. He likes to sell a commercial film with a rose-tinted lens of auteur behind it. Whereas actually what he is making is commercial-grade slop, I guess. Which is a shame, because if you look at Gladiator, Gladiator's a great film. Gladiator 2, that's not going to be comparable, is it? That's that commercial-grade slop, I guess. Just bang it out. Just get it done. And that's his attitude. Literally, just get it done. Yep, just want to get it done. Get it done as quickly as possible. I've got to say, I'm genuinely surprised that the cinematographer's coming out and saying all this stuff. Like, I'm really surprised. Just because you think there'd be gag orders, you think there'd be all these things that means he can't say anything. You'd also think he'd want to work with Ridley Scott again, but he doesn't seem to give a shit. And maybe he doesn't want to work with Ridley Scott again. Because why would you if it's sort of subpar, fix it in post shit? Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.